The Met Police Commissioner has faced questions from MPs about public confidence in London's police force. It comes after a poll by our programme last week suggested that 37% of those in the capital were less likely to trust the force following allegations that the family of murdered teenager Stephen Lawrence were spied on by undercover officers. Our Home Affairs correspondent Guy Smith reports.
Good afternoon, Chair.
Good afternoon, thank you.
Almost before he'd sat down, the questions started.
Almost every day that you open the newspapers, there is another story about the Metropolitan Police.
All negative stories, allegations of corruption, an unarmed man unlawfully killed, the possible smearing of Stephen Lawrence's family.
How will you restore confidence in the Met, bearing in mind the last opinion poll of Londoners showed that 2 in 5 are less likely to trust the Metropolitan Police as a result of the revelations about Stephen Lawrence's family?
That opinion poll was commissioned by BBC London. This was the Met Commissioner's response today in front of the Home Affairs Select Committee.
Well, first of all, Chair, as I said to this committee, I've said publicly before, is that the allegations about the targeting of undercover officers against the Lawrence family and those who supported them, I find shocking and I condemn if true. That survey was carried out fairly quickly after that revelation, so I think we have to take that into account. And of course, in a balanced way, we have to acknowledge, I think 85% of the people who were surveyed said that they had a trust in the Metropolitan Police. So I think both are almost contradictory findings, but I won't try and run away from the fact that it was not a good day for the Met.
So how can the man at the top of Scotland Yard rebuild public trust? He mentioned crime rates continuing to fall, listening to concerns about controversial issues like stop and search, and
I can do my best to get to the bottom of these allegations that are historical.
The Commissioner refused to talk in detail about what was said in a meeting between him and Stephen's mother, but said this.
She said that trust in the Met had taken at least 2 steps back, and she'd been building it. We'd had a successful investigation, as you know. We'd had successful prosecution last year for an inquiry that had taken that long, 20 years to get to a murder conviction. So that was a step forward, but this clearly was 2 steps back.
The committee will hear evidence from Doreen Lawrence tomorrow. Guy Smith, BBC London News.
And we're joined by our political editor, Tim Donovan, who's at Westminster. Tim, you've been listening to this committee hearing. Does the Mayor feel the same way as the Commissioner on these issues?
Very much so. The Mayor giving evidence after the Commissioner, very much in the same vein. Indeed, it's clear they are aligned, these two, very much at the moment. The relationship appears to be a strong one. Currently, at least, there was no collapse in public confidence, the Mayor said. Indeed, he pointed to the finding of our polling that said there was 85% trust rated in the police, as showing that that was stable, although he accepted there were areas, some parts of the community where more could be done. He didn't object to the idea of a judge-led inquiry that brought together all these current inquiries. It's something Doreen Lawrence has asked for, feels that it would give it more independence. But one proposal that did emerge today for him was the possibility of a kind of ethics committee at the Mayor's Office Policing, based at City Hall, which could, on an ongoing basis, start looking at, considering complaints, adjudicating when issues such as concerns about undercover policing emerge.
Tim, from Westminster, thank you.